Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got a fun one for you today. We've got an image up the top here with a little icon in the middle of it. When I hover over the icon, it's going to roll up to reveal some text. When I take my mouse back off, it's going to drop back down there. That's a great little feature to have on your site. People are mousing around, that's going to get their attention pretty quickly. Really easy to do. There's one tiny little bit of code we've got to write for this today, but it's very simple and I'll put it down below the video as usual. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. I've got a section here, blue tab. Inside the section I've got a row, the green tab with 3 columns in it. Let's go over here to our second column. I'm going to add a blurb module as it has that nice icon on it. Obviously put what you want your title to say there. Put the content that you want in it down here. I'm going to take away a little bit of that. Don't need quite as much as that for mine. Obviously you'd have some real content. Image and icon down below. I'm going to use an icon for mine today, so I'm going to flip the little use icon switch to on. Let's just use that up arrow. There it is right there. If you want to link your title or your whole module somewhere, this is where you want to put your link in. And obviously best practice, if you're linking to your own site, leave it in the same window. If you're linking off site to somebody else's site, open it in a new tab. That way your site stays open. Okay, well at the moment I'm not going to give it a background. We'll play with this a little bit more later on. But I'm going to go over to my design, image and icon. I want that icon a lot smaller, so I'm going to roll down a bit. Image icon width, I'm going to make mine about 30 pixels. Okay, I'm going to leave that just like that for the time being. Let's save that. Now the way this works, if you watch any of my other image to text hover effects, is the actual image resides in the column that's sitting behind this module. So let's put an image in. I'm going to go to the row, the green tab. Inside we've got our 3 columns. We're working on the middle one there. Under content, that's where you always find the background. You've got color, gradient, image, background video, background pattern or background mask, and you can blend several of these together. I'm just going to use a simple image for this today. I'm going to click on the little plus. Now let's pop that fella in. Okay. That's okay. Obviously we've got to make this so that we can see it. But here comes a little bit of code. I'm going to make this a fixed height. To do that, still in the column, not the row, the column that we'll put the image in, over to the advanced custom CSS. In the main element here, I'm just going to write the line height 300 pixels. 300 px semicolon. As you can see, it's the same height as our one next door there now. We've got more of the image. That's going to stay there, that height. If you want to use this on desktop and mobile, you can change the height for desktop and mobile by hovering over the dark writing, and this is common to all Divi modules. If there's a little mobile phone there, click on it, and you can flip over to tablet mode. Let's roll down. That's actually going to work for me on tablet mode too. I know we're going to adjust our blur, but the actual aspect of it, that's okay. And phone mode, again, that's going to work fine for me, but you can put separate values in for each of these if you need to. Obviously on tablet and mobile, they're going to need to tap for this to actually work. Okay. Well, while we're in our advanced of our column, I'm going to close up the custom CSS. I'm going to go down to visibility. So what we're going to be doing is manipulating this module, pushing some of it down and putting the icon in the middle and what have you. So I don't want to see anything that flows outside of our column. That's called overflow. So horizontal and vertical overflow, remember we're under the visibility in the advanced. I'm going to change both of those to hidden. Great. Well, let's save that. We'll save the main row settings. We'll go back into our little blur module and make this happen now. And make it so we can see it. I'm going to go over to design. I'm going to go down to text. I'm going to pop everything in the middle. I'm going to make it light in color so we can see it. You can do title and body separately and do different fonts and colors if you want to. I'm going to leave mine just like that. Now let's give it a bit of spacing all around. I'm going to roll down to spacing. I'm going to give it 25 pixels. Hit the chain, and the same for the left and right. Great. Well, all I want to see initially is this icon down in the middle here. So let's adjust our padding so that icon's down there. Let's try putting perhaps 100 on the top. I know that's 300 deep. Not quite. Let's go maybe 140. Put it wherever you want to put yours. That's great, but I don't want to see any of that writing. So to get rid of that text, what we can do, we can go back to our image and icon. If we roll down, we've got padding and margin down at the bottom here. So on the bottom, I can give it, say, 200 pixels, which should push it out of the way. We've got our overflow hidden, so you won't see it down there. But when we hover over it, I want to bring it back. So I'm going to hit the little arrow here, and this is common to all Divi modules. If you roll over, there's a little arrow. If you hit it, you can set a desktop state when the mouse is not on it, and a hover state when the mouse is on it. I'm going to bring that back to 0. That's going to pull it back there, but we want to pull this thing all the way up so we can read the writing. So still in design, we'll go back to our spacing. We gave it 140 on the top there. Again, we're going to roll over, bring up the little arrow. I'm going to uncheck that, so I want separate values for top and bottom here. I'm going to put that back to 25. So we got the whole thing up there like that. That's okay, but we can't really read it that well. So when we're not hovering, we've got that. When we are hovering, we've got that. So to make it more readable, I'm going to go back to our content, down to background. I'm actually going to put a black in under background color. And obviously I want to see my image, so I'm going to click on the dark field. Drag the opacity, the variegated slider here all the way to the bottom so we can see all of our image here. Let's get the little arrow up, make sure we're on desktop state. So that's what we've got when we're not hovering. And on hover state, I'm going to click on the little arrow there. I'm going to bring this pretty much to about 75% so we can see some of the image behind, but we can read that writing nice and clearly. Great. Well, the time it takes to go from desktop to hover state by default is 300 milliseconds. If we go over to the advanced and down to transitions, there's the 300 default. I'm going to slow mine down to about half a second. 500 milliseconds. Don't want any delay, want it to happen as soon as the mouse hits it. Transition speed curve I like to use for my hover effect is ease in, ease out. So let's save our changes now. We'll save our page changes. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And let's exit the Visual Builder. And if we roll over it, the icon's going to pop up and our text is going to appear. When we take the mouse off, it's going to disappear back down again. And that's a great little feature to have on your site. People are mousing around and that sort of thing happens. It's going to get their attention pretty quickly. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.